obviously. But let's finish the. There are more ceasefire talks, peace talks that occurred in Turkey. Let's take a look at what happened.
Our international affairs editor Dominic Waghorn was at that news conference in Antalya with Sergei Lavrov. Dominic, so from what we can take from those two press conferences, where are we with these talks?
Yeah, well, I think the headlines are that they haven't really made any headway at all. Lavrov said that these are meant to be separate from the Belarusian diplomatic track, and therefore Russians can't deliver on things like ceasefires or humanitarian aid corridors. Dmytro Kuleba, his counterpart for the Ukrainians, said that as far as he's concerned, Lavrov came here without a mandate, that all those things had to be referred back up to Moscow, and clearly Kuleba's very frustrated by that. I mean, whoever's right there, the bottom line is...
Most Turkish-looking man on the fucking planet, dude. Jesus Christ. Wow, they won't even let the Turks do fucking peace negotiations. Yo, Vladimir Putin! Amına koruma! Amına korum lan! Bize vermek istemiyor. Bize vermek istemiyor. Devamlı. Bize izin vermek istemiyor. Dünya lideri olacağız. Sike sike olacağız amına koyayım. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I'm just making a joke. I'm like the average Turkish guy that goes to the fucking coffee shop and speaks like this. If you talk to any fucking Turkish guy right now, they're like, we will remember. We will always remember this. That's why our Bayraktars, they're fucking, you know, they're ripping through Putin's army. He's fucking killing them. That's, you know, remember that. Anyway. I thought you said Turks had the best hair plugs. What the fuck is that? Dog, the Turkish people don't do it on their own hair. It's like international travelers that come in and do it.
Is that these talks have not delivered on a ceasefire or humanitarian aid corridors, and therefore you kind of wonder what the point was.
My dad knows Turkish and sometimes calls me pezevenk. What the fuck does that mean? Pimp. It means pimp. But like in a negative way, not like in America, pimps has like somewhat of a positive connotation, but you can say it in a loving way as well.
Apart from both men to come here and lay out their talking points again, I asked Lavrov, I asked him about the credibility of the Russians, really. You know, they said they weren't going to invade Ukraine. They have, and they said that they're going to not hurt civilians, and thousands of civilians are being hurt, or millions have been displaced. But I think if I'd had a follow-up question, and we weren't given more than one question, I would have asked him what planet he's on, because he also said in this press conference up there that Russia has not invaded, even though he sounds absurd. He sounds like he's in a parallel universe. I think also talking about the hospital that Diana was talking about there, he was sticking to the script there as well.
I love doing a ceasefire negotiation or a peace negotiation, and like literally going to a foreign country, specifically with diplomats of another country that you are currently invading, when there's no invasion happening. So what are you doing there then? What's the reason? Why are you doing a peace negotiation in times of peace? Because that's the opposite of times of war. If there is no war happening, then there must be a peace happening. So what are you, reinforcing the peace? He's simply just, you know, advocating for further peace, you know? He's like, I love peace so much, we want to double down on it. Just like I love doubling down on the top of the hour ad break and running it at 2:09 instead of actually at fucking 2 p.m., you know? And then telling you that you can avoid those ads as long as you subscribe for $5 or for free. Here's my declaration of the top of the hour ad break, which is an unjustifiable act of war, obviously. But my peaceful negotiation for you in this special operation of a top of the hour ad break is that you can subscribe for $5 or you can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. That way you get one free Twitch Prime subscription a month. Use on your favorite streamer, and that way you will not see the ads. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
Well, which strays slightly from what his spokeswoman was saying. Maria Zakharova was saying before the press conference that she felt that all the pictures of this maternity hospital were faked. Whereas Lavrov, her boss, was saying no, that they felt that this hospital was being used by a far-right, the Azov Brigade, so that's a far-right wing of the Ukrainian military in the minds of the Russians, and therefore they would have had a right to attack it. And that's typical Russian misinformation, putting out conflicting stories.
No, it's not. That's typical IDF misinformation. They have learned from the best. They have learned from the top dog of bombing hospitals routinely, okay? That is straight the fuck up. Like, it is so laughable. It is so incredible that they are just so openly plagiarizing the IDF propaganda book that it blows my mind. Like, Israel should literally DMCA Russia for these fucking takes. Saying that it's Russian fake news is unironically fake news, because the people that invented this style literally is the IDF. The people that have been doing it for a very long time, at least in contemporary society.
Often self-contradictory, but to put up a sort of smokescreen that confuses people watching. What you have to say as a dispassionate observer about attacking hospitals is the World Health Organization says that 18 medical facilities have been hit now in Ukraine, 3 over the last 24 hours or so, the most recent one a maternity hospital. And you've got to say that that's a chilling echo of what Russia did in Syria, where it was supporting the Syrian regime and the Iranians. It would deliberately attack hospitals with a rather cynical aim of forcing civilians to flee. If you live somewhere and the safest place in your town is a hospital, for most people it would be, and you hear it's been struck.
Wait, what?
Syria, where it was say that's a just put up a sort of smokescreen that confuses people watching. What you have to say as a dispassionate observer about attacking hospitals is the World Health Organization, Ukraine, 3 over the last 24 hours.
Wait, he couldn't fucking... There was not another example he could have drawn?
The most recent one a maternity hospital. And you've got to say that's a chilling echo of what Russia did in Syria, where it was supporting the Syrian regime and the Iranians. It would deliberately attack hospitals with a rather cynical aim of forcing civilians to flee.
If you live somewhere, tell me how I can help my sister from being brainwashed by Fox News.
I wonder if there's like another country that does that they could have used as an example, but no. No, of course, it's Russia again, actually. Classic.
And the safest place in your town is a hospital, for most people it would be, and you hear it's being struck, then you're inclined not to stay put, you're going to flee. And what the Russians are facing in Ukraine is a people power problem. The people are coming out on the streets, they are fronting up with the tanks, they're lying down in front of the tanks. Very brave Ukrainians are trying to push the Russian soldiers out of their towns just through people power. So one way of dealing with that is to just make people flee. And I think you have to suspect that is the strategy behind what the Russians appear to be doing now, which is using airstrikes to target hospitals. Even though we've heard 2 different sort of answers about what the hospital attack was all about from these 2 spokespersons for the Russian government, I think it's very worrying about what the future could be bringing in coming hours and days for the people of Ukraine and their medical facilities.